Welcome back to Anime Zone. Today we're looking at top 10 anime where the main character is the villain. Number 10, Death Note. Starting off strong, we have Light Yagami from Death Note. While Light starts with arguably good intentions, wanting to rid the world of criminals, he quickly descends into megalomania. Light becomes judge, jury, and executioner, killing anyone who stands in his way, including innocent people. What makes Light fascinating is watching his transformation, from an honor student to a cold-blooded killer who genuinely believes he's become a god. The cat and mouse game with L is legendary, but make no mistake, Light is the villain of his own story. By the end, he's murdered thousands, manipulated everyone around him, and lost every shred of humanity he once had. Number 9. Code Geass. Lelouch v. Britannia from Code Geass walks a razor-thin line between anti-hero and villain. Armed with the power of the Geass, which allows him to command anyone to obey him, Lelouch starts a rebellion against the Holy Britannian Empire. But here's the thing, Lelouch is willing to sacrifice anyone and everyone to achieve his goals. He manipulates allies, uses people as pawns, and causes massive collateral damage. The infamous moment where he accidentally commands Euphemia to massacre the Japanese shows how dangerous his power is. Yes, he's fighting against oppression, but his methods are undeniably villainous. The Zero Requiem ending forces us to question, was he a hero or a necessary evil? Number 8. Overlord. Ainzul Gon from Overlord is literally an undead overlord trying to conquer a fantasy world. There's no ambiguity here. Ainz and his NPCs from Nazarick are the villains. What's brilliant about Overlord is that we experience the story from the villain's perspective. Ainz casually orders massacres, commits genocide against entire kingdoms, and views most humans as insignificant insects. The splat scene where he kills 70,000 soldiers is played for spectacle. We're watching the monster movie from the monster's point of view, and it's darkly entertaining to see him crush everyone who opposes him with overwhelming power. Number 7, Saga of Tanya the Evil. The title says it all. Tanya Duguret-Chaff is not a good person. A salaryman reincarnated into a magical World War era world as a young girl. Tanya is ruthlessly pragmatic, manipulative, and has zero empathy. She's a military genius who rises through the ranks, but her methods are brutal. Tanya will use child soldiers, order war crimes, and manipulate military doctrine, all to advance her career and spite God. Or being X, as she calls it. She's not fighting for justice or her country. She's fighting for herself, making her one of the most openly villainous protagonists in anime. Number 6, Hellsing Ultimate. Alucard from Hellsing Ultimate is a vampire who works for the Hellsing organization. But calling him a hero is a stretch. He's a monster who loves violence, slaughter, and battle above all else. Alucard is technically fighting on the side of good against other supernatural threats. But he takes sadistic pleasure in tormenting and killing his enemies. He's literally Dracula, history's most famous vampire. The series doesn't hide his monstrous nature. It celebrates it. Alucard represents controlled evil, a villain on a leash, and the show constantly reminds us that if that leash ever broke, he'd be the greatest threat of all. If you guys are enjoying this video, make sure to subscribe and leave a like down below. Number 5, Talentless Nana. Without spoiling too much for those who haven't seen it, Nana Hiragi initially appears to be a late arrival at a school for the talented, people with supernatural abilities. But there's a dark twist early on that reframes the entire series. Nana is actually an assassin, tasked with eliminating these students who are actually considered threats to humanity. What follows is a psychological thriller, where we watch Nana manipulate, deceive, and murder her classmates one by one. She's cold, calculating, And the show forces us to question whether her mission justifies her actions. It's a unique take on the villain protagonist concept. Number 4. Monster. Johann Liebert from Monster is pure evil incarnate. This psychological thriller follows Dr. Tenma as he hunts down Johann, the boy he once saved who grew up to become a serial killer. While Tenma is technically the protagonist we follow, Johann is the narrative's driving force and the true main character of the story's themes. Johann manipulates entire communities into destroying themselves, creates murderers out of innocent people, and does it all with a smile. He represents nihilism and the question of whether some lives are beyond saving. Johann is terrifying because he's charming, intelligent, and utterly remorseless. Number 3. The Eminence in Shadow. Sid Kagano is obsessed with being a mastermind villain, pulling strings from the shadows. After reincarnating into a fantasy world, he creates an elaborate fantasy organization and pretends to fight a fake conspiracy. The twist: his fake conspiracy is actually real, and he's accidentally become a real villain adjacent leader. Sid is hilariously self-centered, manipulative, and willing to cause chaos, just to live out his edgelord fantasies. While the tone is comedic, there's no denying that Sid's actions often cause real harm. He's a villain protagonist who doesn't even realize he's become what he's role-playing. Number 2. Classroom of the Elite. Kiyotaka Ayanokoji from Classroom of the Elite is a master manipulator hiding behind a facade of mediocrity. Trained in the brutal White Room facility, Ayanokoji views people as tools to be used. Throughout the series, he orchestrates the downfall of rivals, betrays allies, and manipulates everyone around him, all while pretending to be a background character. He has no real moral compass, and acts purely based on what interests him or serves his goals. The light novels make his villainous nature even more explicit. Ayanokoji is proof that sometimes the scariest villains are the ones hiding in plain sight. Number 1. 91 Days. Angelo Lagusa is a man driven purely by revenge. After watching his family murdered by the mafia as a child, Angelo infiltrates the Vanetti crime family to destroy them from within. What makes 91 Days special is there's no pretense. Angelo is not a good person seeking justice. He's a vengeful killer who manipulates murders and ruins innocent lives to achieve his goal. The entire series is a tragedy, watching Angelo sacrifice his humanity for vengeance. By the end, there are no winners, just broken people and death. Angelo is the villain of his own noir story, and the show never looks away from that darkness. If you enjoyed this video, you'll probably like this one as well, and there's always new videos in the future. See you guys next time.